Okay, I'll do a quick walk around here. It's Sunday afternoon, March 18th. It's about, I don't know, 1:30 in the afternoon. I got to get a heat shield for the muffler yet. I've got to get the weather strip that goes on top of the door ledge here. As you can see, the door isn't perfect. Um, with that being said, we're going to leave that alone. Um, the blemishes that are in the cab are somewhat hidden by the muffler. So that'll take care of that. I've got to get the clasps that go on the hood here yet. I got to get those. I've got to get the turn signals for the fender. They are to come from Kenworth yet. They are just TRP aftermarket turn signals. This truck again was painted 2 years ago. We only painted the hood and the right hand side of the cab. As you can see, we didn't paint this. It doesn't quite match, but we get this new paint out in the sun a little bit. We think she'll come together pretty good. But other than that, I got to hook up the headlights yet. I've got to get the clips that go inside these rails here to put that center one back on. We replaced the center part of the hood. These are the original pieces here. This strip, this one, the Kenworth symbol, the one on the left, and then the bottom one. But other than that, we ended up we replaced the piece on this inner fender here, this piece here, because it was mangled pretty good. I just got this, I believe it was Friday. I didn't have painted it on Thursday. I didn't have that here, and of course we used all the paint on the cab and the hood. We didn't have any red left over. This red here is John Deere paint, Case International red, and that's what color the box actually is. We didn't want to use the expensive Prism paint on the box, so they just get monkeyed up pretty good. We got the mirror brackets pretty well straight. We used the original brackets off the cab. Took me a little bit to get them straightened out, but other than buying new ones, I think those will work. The mirrors are new, the spot mirror and the West Coast mirror, whatever you want to call that. This part here. They sent me a heated mirror. That's what was on it. We probably didn't exactly need heated mirrors to go back on there because we don't even use them. But that is what it is. The exhaust is brand new from the turbo back. The exhaust was 2 years old, but it was mangled up here pretty good on this back side naturally. This bracket here was bent right down almost to the fuel tank, and then when it rolled over, it broke the rubber mounting strap. Well, you can see the paint difference between the new paint and what we just put on there. And well, it bent this bracket. You know, this piece here, from when that went over, it ended up breaking that rubber mounting strap, and it tossed the muffler down on its side, and it pushed it right down into the fuel tank here pretty good. And we did the best we could to get this fuel tank straightened back out. This step had a big bow in it. We straightened that, got that pretty good. and put new gaskets here in under the fuel tank mounting straps. All that is just used fire hose. We use fire hose to hose the parlor down, and once they get a hole in them, they're no good. We pull the inner liner out of the fire hose. We cut the jacket off the outside and use the inner liner. Well, that's dirty from getting in and out, but at any rate. Now on the hoist, we ended up replacing the top mounts on both sides and the bottoms. The bottom mount on that left side there was bent pretty good. We took this box off 2 years ago when we painted it, so we had these upper mounts were cut up. You know, they were cut up pretty good. Anyway, so they warranted being replaced anyhow. There is a slight twist in the hoist. I can't quite get my finger underneath there, but I can almost get it underneath there. It's twisted back in the scissor joint here, but we're going to mount it up anyways, and we're going to try to straighten it once we get everything mounted. I would have to imagine once you get 20 ton on there, lift it up a couple times, it'll true itself out. These are real good hoists. We've been installing these harsh hoists for, you know, going on 20 years now. This is a 110. They call it a K110. This is good for 25, 26 ton anyhow on this 20-foot, 9-inch box that's on here. That truck there has got a J100 hoist on it, a harsh J100 hoist, the next size smaller hoist than this one here. And Harsh has one hoist that's larger than this that'll go on a straight truck, and we've got them on, I believe it's 6 of our other trucks. It's a what is that? It's a 125. I think they call it a L 125. That's meant for a truck chassis. They do have a 130 that's for a trailer that's got a wider stance where it sits on the trailer frame. It won't fit on a truck. I don't know if it's got 3 cylinders on it or not. It might have 3 cylinders on it. Okay, we're going to roll in underneath this 9410 here. The other day, our John Deere dealer had to come out and put a sensor on a safety support for the front drive line. Apparently these tractors have had issues where the drive line, the universals come apart or something, they break, and then the shaft spins out of control, and it usually wipes off hydraulic lines and causes the tractor to lose all hydraulics, steering, brakes, so on. And I guess they've had a few fires too on certain ones. So they came out the other day and put a sensor that would ride against the front drive shaft that goes to the front differential. And what that'll do is once that drive line, if it ever happened to get out of line a little bit, whether the universal was going or a carrier was starting to drop out of whack, it would trip the sensor, tell the computer what's going on. And I don't know if it'll actually shut the tractor down after you've stopped or not. I don't believe so. I believe it will just trigger a warning code. Warning code in the, on the dash. Now, where are we here? Alright, so that bracket right there is what they put on maybe a year ago, and they since changed it the other day, and now what it's got is a different style bracket with a sensor. And you can see the wire right there, and then the sensor just comes against the drive line in there, and that will, if this universal happens to go in this back part of the yoke here, if that sends to drop down a little bit, it'll trigger that sensor. Now, I crawled underneath here the other day to see what it all involved, and on my way out, I noticed that we had this wheel had moved in and is rubbing very nicely against the blade bracket. We've had trouble with this wheel before loosening up and walking out on us. It walked the other way and it ended up hitting the outside dual. It ended up ruining the hub and whatnot. So now we got it moving the other way. And I've been riding against there for quite a little while. There's quite a little bit of wear in the wheel weight here, and you really can't see it from the cab, other than noticing the wheels are not quite gapped the same as the other side. But that's what we got to work on. And it's Sunday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, March 18th. So we'll have to pop this outside dual off, take the hub off, loosen up that hub there on the inner wheel, and move that out some, and hopefully it hasn't done anything to the axle or the hub. Seems to me, I remember a little something about that axle, that it was slightly wore, and we moved it in a different spot, and I'm hoping that we're not to the point where we have to replace that. But if it's got to be replaced, we'll have to replace it. This tractor's got just over 3,200 hours on it, and it's been a good workhorse for us. We use it on the silage blade here. We did have, we do tillage work with it too. We did have trouble with this silage blade coming apart a couple different times. The first time the factory, they came and got it, Degelman did, and I don't know if they changed the center moldboard. I don't believe so. They might have changed the center moldboard. It all split apart on this backside weld, I believe it was, and then subsequently it ended up doing it again, and they hired a guy to come out and put these plates in there to kind of strengthen it a little bit. It's kind of the weak point of the blade. What usually happens is these stoppers here end up wearing out, and it causes that blade to come back beyond center, and when it comes back beyond center, it ends up torquing this whole hinge plate here, and it rips it right off the blade, because it can't take that kind of torque. It has to stop here. It can't use that hinge point on the front side to stop it. So that's gonna about do it for this one, and we'll catch you later.